time to come together here and do business in this town. Let's conduct ourselves in a Christ-like manner. Thank you for sending your son Jesus to die on the cross for our sins. I thank everybody under the sound of my voice. Let's glorify your name through this tonight. Thank you for all that you've done for us and the help that you give to us in a nation that is a free nation where we can come and participate. Ask that you be with us. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And we remain standing, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. If you would, please mute or turn off your cell phones. We would greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to wait just a minute here till Brenda comes back in. Pardon me.
Sir, would you like a
You'll
copy
plug
of
it
the
back on there. That's as strong as I got.
Well, I appreciate that.
She's asking you something.
Did you do an agenda?
Yes, I did. It's on your tablet. Well, the rain didn't last long.
We were bragging
We're
on it.
supposed to get some.
After midnight.
After midnight.
It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
Well, good. We could use it.
Oh, for the roof?
Uh-huh.
Good deal.
Okay.
That's for you.
All right. Brenda, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Self,
Here.
Myrtle,
Here.
Eugene,
Here.
Brenda,
Here.
Floyd,
Yeah.
and Steve.
Here.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, you've got a full house.
All right. All right. Let's go ahead and get the minutes from the last meeting.
The Town of County Line, Alabama, the Town Council meeting of June the 9th, 2014. The meeting was called to order by the mayor at 7 p.m. The invocation was given by Mr. Don Hagel. The Pledge of Allegiance was given by all in attendance. Roll call, Mayor Arthur Self and Councilors Myrtle Van Cleef, Floyd Philpott, and Steve Brewer were present. And welcome to the public in attendance. Please mute or turn off cell phones during the meeting. The minutes of the May meeting were read. A motion to accept the minutes with correction of percentage of grant amount by Steve, seconded by Floyd, motion carried. That was the correction. The percentage amount that I had in there was wrong. Financial reports were given. A motion to accept the reports was given by Floyd and seconded by Steve, motion carried. The mayor to find out information on the Blount County Solid Waste Board, who we need to contact to help us modify the county line solid waste plan. There was a motion to seek advice on the engineering firm to modify the plan by Myrtle and seconded by Floyd. There was a discussion on trying to get estimates on repairing our roof or replacing. The mayor appointed Councilor Eugene Kiley on this committee. Also discussion on nuisance and zoning ordinance because of the junkyards in the town limits. A motion was made by Floyd to purchase a new chair for the office, seconded by Myrtle. Motion carried. The mayor to donate a chair that he has used in his home office. A thank you note from Revenue Commissioner Greg Armstrong for allowing him to speak to us about his campaign for re-election and what his duties entail. There being no further business, a motion to adjourn was made by Floyd Philpott, seconded by Steve Brewer. Meeting adjourned at 7:50 p.m. Respectfully submitted by Brenda Philpott, Town Clerk.
All right, any comments or corrections? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as read.
Second.
Brenda and then Steve? Mhm.
Thank you.
All in favor? Unanimous? Okay, let's take a look at the financials.
Yeah.
All right,
All of you have copies. Which one you gonna do first, Mayor? You want me to do it or you gonna do it?
I'll just go ahead and read them off.
Okay.
The first is the Capital Improvements Fund, and no change in the balance. It's $5,626.78.
All right.
The general fund, the beginning balance was $12,269.17. And our ending balance was $9,648.52.
Excuse me, can I stop there? Brenda, the payments, the checks that you've not, so you have 3? Okay.
With the one that you gave me tonight.
No, I show that you've got 3 before this one tonight.
I cashed one last week.
Oh, it just hadn't cleared the bank yet?
Probably.
Okay. So you got the
I have
August
3.
and the April?
I've got April, May, and July.
Okay, so you cleared the August one, the oldest one?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Okay, I'll find out when the bank statement comes. I'm just checking. Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions or comments on the general fund? Okay. The 2 and 7 account, our beginning balance is $5,898.69. And the ending balance, $6,108.15. Questions or comments on the 2 and 7? All right. Brenda, it looks like I got 2 general funds.
You don't have a 4, 5, and 6?
No, I do not.
Well, I will make sure you get one.
All right, well, I'll just use this one for the moment. All right. The 4, 5, and 6 account, beginning balance is $6,359.76. $1,000,000,066. The ending balance is $6,501.94. Any questions or comments on the 4, 5, and 6? All right.
And they all agree with the bank, if anybody wants to compare the bank statements.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we accept. Second.
Okay.
Steve and Floyd?
Yeah.
All in favor? Unanimous. All right, reports of standing committee, we have none tonight. And none for the special committees. We don't have anything approved yet.
Yeah, she's got some estimates,
Okay,
Rio.
All right, I have got 3 proposals. The first, being from a Charles Dodd Roofing, and, he seemed to think he could get to us fairly soon. He's saying, I guess I just need to probably just pass these around, let y'all all look at them. He's saying clean the metal roof, on the rear and middle section, the rear middle section. Cool seal it with 2 coats. Install modified roofing on the walls after the roll roofing is removed. Clean up the roof debris, and he'll put 2-year warranty on his labor. $2,150.
Is that
a
an entire
repair.
roof? Is that just repair?
That is repairing, strictly repairing, okay? These other 2, these men are saying, too far gone. Everything needs to come off. And this one, Mr. Tedder at Tedder Roofing is saying, we'll tear off the existing metal roof, that was used to, let's see. What he's saying right there, he was used to, so something it was built over the old roof, and, what is he saying right there? I can read up something.
Replace any,
Replace any leaving, anything that's there that might need, need rebracing, they'll rebrace it. He will add additional 2 supports, he will add some support walls so that he could, install a piece of metal across.
a continuing piece.
Yeah, from the bottom to the top. And then he will tear the inside walls off the deck, the feet, and install the wall flashing at the top. He's saying he will use 29 gauge steel. He tells you what it cost. Anyway, it's
Per foot.
25 feet and 6 inches is what he's saying. That much of that steel. He'll use 10 feet outside
And 10.
and 10 inside. 20 foot, a 4x4 wall flashing, okay, 70 degree down cap, and
Clean it up, I guess.
yeah, he's gonna clean everything up, get rid of everything, but he's saying $6,800. You'll have a new roof when he got through.
Okay.
And that's Tedder Roofing. Yates
He's
out of
from
Aniana.
Gunnersville, yeah.
Yeah, this one, Tedder is from Gunnersville. Yates Siding and Roofing out of Aniana came out and looked at it, and Mr. Yates he is telling me, he's saying, you know, need to take it all off. Did I not put the price on there? His pricing was like, I had some scratch notes on this one, I guess I didn't get it all finished. But anyway, his cost was even higher than Tepper's. So,
His was higher than the
Uh,
6,800.
It was
I think
over
it-
7,000.
yeah, his was 7,300, I think is what his was, yeah.
And using the
And he
same
wants to
material and
remove all,
everything.
he said, remove and dispose of any debris. He will leave the original roof, but he will reframe and pitch and replace the decking. Cover it with 26 gauge metal. Use rolled roofing on the sides. Put soffit metal to cover the edges, and he will guarantee it. So he's a licensed contractor from Montana.
Goes to the mayor. Let the mayor
Oh.
know that.
But I will.
Would you please hand that to the mayor? There's his 456.
All right,
I apologize for not giving you that number right there. I will get that from,
So the one for 7,000, was
well,
that the same?
that will be Yates. Yates will be
Okay,
the
but is
1,700.
did he give us what kind of materials he would be using?
Yeah, 26 gauge steel,
The other one was 29 gauge, the front.
or 29 gauge, whatever, yeah.
No,
whatever.
the last one was 26 gauge, the first one, or the
Yeah.
second one was 29.
Second one
I
was
want to go with the
Yeah.
second.
26 and 29.
But with this one, you would have a new roof.
Mhm.
and this one we wouldn't.
And no, this one, you would have a new roof also. That
But he won't
first
build-
one,
build
Mr.
on top
Dodd,
of it.
he will just patch it.
So he's going to take everything off of the roof?
Read what, yeah, I will agree with whatever you said,
Okay,
read that
yeah.
right there. It's whatever he said. I will get you that, I know I've got those.
Tell you what, we'll make,
Let me see if I got my note on that. I may have that note on my pad here.
yeah, the roof's in bad shape, I mean,
The
it's
last
obviously.
proposal is 7,300.
I'm thinking that's
Gotta
it.
have
I'm
it
gonna go back
replaced.
here and see if I can find it,
Okay.
Yeah,
cause I think
But
it's all this.
I mean, building over
I
that
think
one
you need
is,
to go to the
No.
number two.
I don't think we should. I
Yeah.
think we should have it all taken off.
Well, if we're gonna spend the money, you might as well get it right, because
Yeah.
And the
otherwise it's all
cheaper
gonna
one
fall
is
in
the
on
one
us.
that's gonna take it off.
You can spend $2,500 today and $2,500 next year and the next, but you can go ahead and spend $6,800 and get a new roof.
yeah. All right, well,
Usually that gauge metal has at least a 25-year warranty, sometimes.
Yeah,
The 29
that's what, I
gauge.
remember him saying that.
Well, there won't none of us be here by.
It'll
the
last
next-
longer
but
than
the
we.
But the
next
next
group will.
people will, yeah, they will, so it needs to be done, it needs to be done right.
But
All right,
our
well,
grandchildren will
our
have a
limit
building.
here is exceeds what we have in capital improvements.
Yeah, what is, I can't remember capital map.
50,
It's what, we're getting
5,800.
close. If we could get just a little bit
5,600.
more. Capital
Well,
improvements
we'll have to put some out of the regular fund then.
was 56.
Can't we take some out of the general fund to go with it?
Yeah, good.
Well, we'll have to look and see what our remaining expenses are
Remaining
for the year.
expenses till the end of the year. We have to pay the light bill.
So can you do that, and then maybe we can have a special meeting and something to vote on this?
We'll have to get
Mr.
some
Mayor,
information
can we
together.
check to see if, I'm not talking about taking it out of the general fund. I don't know about the 4, 5, and 6 again.
Yeah,
We
and
can't take it out of
Can't
we
the.
can't take it out of those
That's
Well, we
strictly
have to come out of
roads,
the-
isn't it?
general fund, if we take it out of any of that.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Well, let's do a budget for the remaining, projected expenses for the remaining of the year and, see where we stand. Because our, insurance bill comes up at the end of the year, and that's
That's a couple
a
thousand,
chunk,
yeah, 24, 20.
2,500, 3,000.
So we're gonna table this until we discuss it more and
I believe we
see
need
what
to.
we can,
we have a motion to table it?
I make a
second.
motion to table.
I'll second.
I hope we can do something before winter sets in, because it's gonna be.
Yeah, we
Oh, yeah, we
it's gonna
need
be
to
And
do
I
bad.
make a suggestion.
Yes.
They've come out with some new stuff, it's liquid rubber.
Mm-hmm.
You put it on with a roller like paint. It don't ever get real hard and crack, and that's what's wrong with what Dan put up there, is it's cracked and leaking. This stuff is white, and this covers what you can see up there, and run the water on all this way, the way they've got it started. I have no idea why they got half of the roof covered with that barn tin.
Well, that was, you know, it makes no sense. I have little to very little knowledge of roofing. But I climbed that ladder and got up there with one of those guys and looked at it, and he began to explain it to me, and I'm like, well, this is a no-brainer. I would know not to do that. Water runs downhill. It's puddling over there. That's why we're getting.
I'd be scared to get up there on it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think I would. Lucy's slow. I don't,
I
I think
didn't
Lucy's
actually
slow.
walk on it. I was at the top of the ladder, but he was out there on it.
Well, Dan's been on it several
Well,
times.
well, like I said, let's go ahead and take a vote on this.
Could we get somebody, like Dan or one of these young boys around here that can climb? I can't climb up there and get off the ladder and paint it and all that junk. Can we get some of them to do fix that spot?
And that would be an
I'll
interim.
donate the rubber roof to go in that area.
Oh, Dan, I'm sure probably would do that, or he knows somebody to do it if we contact Dan.
Mm.
He's been so good to
Yeah,
fix it before.
he's going out of his way to help us. For not being in the town, he's done a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be an interim until maybe next year when we get another deposit in this account. And then be able to do it. Yes, sir?
You get, the difficulty with that is that if you wait till next year, that estimate's good for 30 days.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Yeah.
guarantee it'll go up.
Oh, yeah, well, you have to
Yeah, it will.
anticipate that. But I mean, if we can't come up with money.
I understand, I hear what
you're
you're saying, I'm just saying, don't be surprised if he'll come back out and give you another estimate, and it'll be another $1,000.
Yeah, a year from now, everything's gonna be higher. Unfortunately, but, I have to see what we can work out first. See what kind of money we've got. And the big question, there's a certain amount of uncertainty as to what, ad valorem tax we're gonna get later this year from Blount County. It's our first, you
I
know.
wouldn't get my hopes up.
I mean, it's not gonna be a whole lot, but it could be enough to put us over this hurdle. But we don't know. We don't know. All right, we had a motion and a second to table it for the research. All in favor? Okay.
Thank you, Lucy, for getting that.
Yes, thank you very
Yes,
much.
thank you very much.
Yeah, you did good, Lucy, but but you didn't get up on the roof, you just climbed the ladder.
Climbed the
But
ladder.
you didn't have any business.
I know about 3-point contact and all that kind of safety stuff. I know
Okay. All right, but we will make.
She's an
copies of everybody.
ADHD, what is she, Eugene?
And
ADHD?
OCD.
She do anything.
All right,
But y'all gonna go ahead and contact them.
Yeah, we need to contact
but
her.
we'll try to find somebody that at least get up there and patch.
Do
get
you
us
think
through
Dan
for a
know,
while.
he would know what you're talking about, that?
I think I could get my grandson to go up there and pull some out and roll it
Oh,
around.
oh, okay,
Oh,
well, if you know
we can get-
somebody and you can
That'd
get
be
it
good.
done.
Joe Dillon is like
All
a
right.
monkey.
Dylan,
Joe Dillon is-
Okay, now with our guest here is Greg Reed, is our town attorney, who has been doing some research for us on the roads and the incorporation or charter. And I'd like to get a report from him.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, let me tell you, I appreciate the opportunity to work with the town county line, and I work with several other cities, and it's a pleasure to be able to do some work for you. And I told the mayor, he said you didn't have a town attorney, and I thought I would be happy to attend your council meetings. And it's kind of like most folks, when you go to hire a lawyer, nobody calls you when you're having a good day. But I do appreciate and enjoy working with cities and municipalities. I've also worked with the town of Hayden, the town of Morris, city of Adamsville, city of Hueytown. So, the mayor came to me and we looked at two different issues. The first one was that you had some questions about articles of incorporation. There's a little difference between businesses and towns in that towns don't really do articles the same way businesses do under Title 10 of the Alabama Code. It comes under the formation of Title 11 for municipalities. What you really have is an order of incorporation that the probate judge enters following an election to incorporate. So to kind of put it in comparative terms, when a business does articles of incorporation, the articles serve several purposes. They state the purpose for the business, they state who is the points of contact, the registered agents for the business, and all of the things. It has certain limitations, where its registered office is, who its point of contact is for service and process. It's different for towns and municipalities in that when you hold a municipal a petition, when you present a petition to be incorporated with the probate judge, the election is that forming mechanism. If two people, let's say the mayor and I go out and we're going to form a business together and we're going to incorporate, we're going to be the incorporators of that business. That's, a business incorporation under Title 10A of the Alabama Code is really an artificial person. They can sue, be sued, they can buy, purchase. Towns are different from that because they're formed through the elective process and become a governing entity. So that order of incorporation that the probate judge entered in 1957, I think, when you had your original petition, original election, serves as your articles of incorporation. It puts you in place under Title 11 of the Alabama Code. It says this is a municipality, and it's, according to the code, it states how your form of government should be, council, mayor, and all of it, how elections are run from that point forward. So, I guess the short answer to the long answer to the short question is you really don't have articles of incorporation for municipality. You have an order of incorporation issued by the probate judge, which you have now. So that answers that question. I hope for you that you don't really need that per se. The second and probably the more difficult question that the mayor posed is that there is some issues, primarily I guess along Cottonville Road, whether it's the responsibility of the county or the town for the maintenance of that. Title 11 also, there's a special act, Title 11-4980. As of July, I think, 9th, 1975, excuse me, it's 87. No, it's 95.
Would you like me to do that?
No, well, thank you. July 95, any annexations done after that date by legislative statute has to be the town has to take over the maintenance of those streets after 1995. Prior to 1995, if the county had maintained the road for at least 1 year prior to the annexation, then it's the county's continued responsibility. That's a legislative act. It's Title 11-4980. Where you have here, there's two issues really with this section of road. In looking and examining the map through the courthouse, the road kind of weaves in and out of the town limits of county line to a certain degree. In my looking at it, I think the majority of the road probably lies outside the town limits. In talking with one member of the commission, it's that situation occurs several places throughout Blount County. The common practice has been where the majority of the road lies outside of the city limit, but certain portions of it are inside of a town or a city limit. The county still maintains that. Because of the act, because of the amount of the road that's outside of the town limits, it would be my opinion that it is the majority responsibility of the county. Now, that doesn't solve the problem immediately, because then I think there's one step that needs to be done, is there needs to be some talks with the county attorney, probate judge, and your commissioner for this district to come to an agreement that that's what the law is. I don't think the question's been properly presented to me. Now, what I would offer to you as a solution, if you wanted to act on it, is I would be happy through this same representation with the mayor or contingent of council people to set up a meeting with the county attorney, the commissioner from this district, probate judge, county commissioner, chairman, excuse me, and then us engage that discussion. There's another part of the code that also says that it doesn't prohibit towns and counties from entering into agreements about the maintenance of the roads. So that you kind of got some wide open field there that you could possibly come to an agreement about the maintenance of the road. I understand the problem that the town has is the lack of the financial funding to be able to maintain the roads there. Legally, I don't think it's your responsibility. That's my position after research. I think it's the county's responsibility. The negative side of that is, just because it's the county's responsibility, I've lived in Blount County my whole life, there's a lot of roads that are not fixed. So that's not going to guarantee maintenance, but I think it does establish the responsibility of the maintenance. So I'd be happy to entertain questions from the council, from anyone here as to what or how you'd like to proceed forward.
Well, just, if you don't mind, a comment from me, question from me, I guess you could kind of play it either way. When the superintendent, road superintendent came to our meeting here, he said, and he also made this statement, as I understand it, to the mayor at another time, that he needed to know what the ruling was so that he could determine his budget so that they could do the road repairs. And out of his own words, sitting in this chair right here, he said that Cobb Brazil Road is, in his opinion, the worst road in the county. Now, I know, because I live on that road. I want it fixed. I just bought a new car for my wife and it's tearing it up already, you know. But
my wife would probably argue that Rock Springs Road and Hayden is the worst road in the county.
But the point that I'm trying to make about that is that I think the commissioner, yeah, that's it, the road commissioner has stated that he's willing to do the work if he knew whose responsibility it was. So I think that what you're talking about is a good idea to set up that meeting so this can be resolved, so that he can get his budget together and get our roads fixed.
That's what I would recommend, because, and this is a crucial time of the year, because August, September is when the county formulates their budget, especially their road budget for the coming year. So I think that now's the time to approach it.
And that was the verbiage he used too, is that, you know, they would be putting together the budget for next year in August. And so, yeah, this is
I think they
good
put it
time.
together in August, vote on it in September, and it goes into effect in October 1st.
I'd be more than happy
Yeah.
to go.
Well, I know y'all haven't had an attorney prior to this, but one of the things is with all the towns I represent and do work for, I can offer suggestions, and but you're a governing body and you make the decision, and I serve at your pleasure. So I will do as little or as much as you would like for me to do in that process. You know, there would be no additional, I would not charge any additional fee for going through and seeing that process through to get a definitive answer from the county, and also work with them, get the budget set so that they can appropriate to repair those sections of road. The thing we need from the town, I think, would be a priority list of what roads are needing the most attention.
And
I think we know that
Once-
one.
without a doubt, Coppersville is the top of all of our lists. And then Dean's Ferry, and then Smith Mill. And on the very end is Cromwell Road. If we only,
That would be, you know, I think that presented with the law code and the map. Those are the two main things that I've looked at in this, is that a good portion of, particularly Coppersville, weaves in and out of the county and out of the town. So I think that there's, even if it had come in after 95, I don't think it's a clear-cut issue there. I think it would still be a question is how much of it lies outside of town, how much of it lies inside of town. And that's where that the code section that allows you to enter into an agreement. And in talking to one of the other commissioners, that's one of the things they do. Like Hayden has gone through a lot of annexation, and now roads that were not in there previously now are, but maybe a majority of that road still lies within the county. And what they've entered into some agreements to who's going to maintain it. Where the majority of the road still is in the county's taking. And I think that's the approach to take.
I think we're faced with a similar situation with Dean's Ferry, because there was only a small portion of Dean's Ferry is actually in the town. The vast majority of Dean's Ferry is Blount County. But there is no weaving in and out. It's Blount County, then county line, then Trafford, then county line, then Blount County. All within about a half mile.
And no, it's a little over a mile, right at a mile. It's approximately a mile from this road to Coppersville is approximately a mile.
Well, see, now, county line does not, the county line town limits does not go from the stop sign down. It's right there at Calvin.
Yeah, well, you can look at the map right there and see that the majority of that road is not in the town county line.
Yeah.
This-
Anyway,
This being Dean's Ferry here, the
Yeah.
biggest percentage of this is not in the town county line.
so, I mean, it's the same situation that we have.
Is that gonna be District 3 or 1? Is it all District 3?
Strickland, Commissioner Strickland, 4. Yep.
And it's a through road, and I thought that if it was a through road, that the county was responsible for it.
They break them down by, and I don't have all the terminology. They have major feeders, minor feeders, connectors, and the engineer would be the one to look at it and determine whether it's a minor connector, major connector, or whether it's they have specialized terms for them. I'll disclaim I'm not an engineer.
Major feeder, minor feeder.
Yeah, that's how it works in my house too.
If I remember correctly, when we were talking to Mr. Strickland, Dean's Ferry or Coppersville, one has got a half a mile of town limits in it, and the other one's got 3/10 of a mile.
Coppersville had 3/10 of a
Coppersville
mile.
had 3/10.
In the town county.
Okay.
The rest of it was
The county.
county.
And they wanted well in the thousands and thousands of dollars.
Just to
To
fix that.
rebuild the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the estimate that we had from the engineer when we were seeking, investigating the grant was it's
400 and something
400,
thousand.
it's almost $500,000 to rework Coppersville Road. And, but anyway.
You still have that. Yeah, I'm assuming you still have that.
Is all of Coppersville, is it paved or not paved?
Well, it was at one time.
Most of it's
if you
It's
don't
like a
have that-
patchwork quilt now.
Uh,
It has.
Patches on the patches.
Yeah, oh, and then patches on top of those patches. That
The rest
have
of it's
eroded.
holes.
And if your wife thinks that the road you were talking about is bad, bring her out here and take her down
But
Coppersville.
I take, my wife grew up in Midfield, and so when we lived in Morris, she thought she was in the country. When we moved to Hayden,
Oh, now
she
she's
thinks she's
in
in
the
the
woods.
wilderness.
We know.
She
we
thinks
know.
y'all have to wait 2
I
more
got-
hours for
got the
sunshine,
same
right?
thing.
Well, you know.
I was a city girl, and I married a fella that lived in Gardendale, and we got married in 1960. And I thought he had taken me absolutely to the end of the world when he took me to Gardendale in 1960.
Well, I had an office in Gardendale from 2001 to 2011, and I was right off the Fieldstown Road, behind the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I remember.
Didn't think about traffic, and I moved to the Hayden Corner exit 2011. And now if I go to the bank in Gardendale or to the grocery, I think, Fieldstown Road is just too congested.
Well, you know, it was a shock to me because I grew up in Birmingham and I went to Inslee and did all that, had bus transportation, everything. And then here he comes and brings me to Carbondale, and it was truck farming then, that's all it was.
All right, any more questions for Greg?
No, but I know that Commissioner Strickland told us that he felt like that the majority of Cobb Brazil was in the county. That's what he told me.
Well, he did.
Riding
because
along
he
with
said-
me.
Commissioner Strickland, in all honesty, has been very willing to work with us, but we're just trying to, it always comes down to whose responsibility is it.
Right.
I think those authorities over his head put the brakes on him and not let him proceed,
Yeah.
but I think he had
Yeah.
intentions of doing the job.
Well, and that's why I would propose a meeting with the county attorney, the probate judge, and your district commissioner. You know, like I said, if y'all want me to go, that's fine, I'd be happy to attend.
Thank you, Lee.
Well, I've had conversations with the probate judge and for Commissioner Strickland, and we've gotten, it always gets talked about, but nobody takes responsibility. And that's why we engage your services, is we've got to take that next step, whatever that next step is, to get a decision made.
I'd be
It's
willing
been going
to,
on for it's been going on for a year, at least a year.
hadn't it? With
oh
the
Yeah.
gosh, it's
Somebody
been
needs to get
going
off
on
the
longer
pot,
than
don't they?
that.
Well, we've been involved with it for a little
We've
bit
been
here.
involved in it for a little over a year, but the other council, I was here 4 years, every council meeting almost. And we begged them to do something about Coppersville. And at that time, they had the money in the road fund to do it. But they spent it on this so-called park out here, $30,000.
Well, and not in defense of your previous council, but that may be a blessing in disguise, because if you'd ever taken it over, it's yours.
Yeah.
I understand.
And see, that's what worries me about, doing the work that we did on Dean's Ferry. Is that going to hurt us?
We did that out of sheer
It was
emergency, because
emergency.
it was tearing people's cars up, breaking wheels.
And it was just potholing. That's all it was.
I would say that it would not cause a problem, because if you did a one-time, if you went out there, just like, for example, if a storm comes through and blows a tree across Cobb Brazil Road or Dean's Ferry or Smith Mill or Thermal Road, either one, and a contingent of city or city-funded people go out there and cut the tree out of the road, that's not taking over the maintenance of the road. That's responding to a one-time situation. If you've gone out there year after year and patched those potholes, that becomes a problem. But I think with one time doing something that's a public safety concern, and that's the stance you take, that this was a public safety issue and we addressed it as such. It's not an ongoing maintenance situation. And
Just so that you can understand the reason that they did it, because some of the potholes there went completely across the road and were 7 to 8 inches deep.
Yeah, people were, trying
Literally
to
had
run
to-
into each other.
Well, we were having to drive off of the road because the shoulders of the road were smoother than the road was to get around them.
It had become a danger too.
School buses, they refuse.
And school buses had gotten to the point where they were about to refuse to come in.
Well, they're about to refuse to come down to Coppersville too. It's gotten so bad.
I think we know what we need to do next. And, so with the council, we'll go ahead and set up a,
would you like for me, I'll be happy to arrange the meeting, or y'all, however you want to do it, you instruct me what you want me to do.
I would like to have you do it, because
They've been
I
here
prefer-
before.
yeah, I prefer that you, make those arrangements and we will show up. I will show up, and anybody else that would like to go, everybody, I will notify everybody when it's set up, so that if you wish to go and attend, you can do so. But yes, I will definitely go.
So,
I
Greg,
don't think it would hurt
Mr.
for
Reed
us to
is
show
going to set up the meeting then.
Yes.
Now, one correction I'd have to make there, Mr. Reed's my father.
Okay. Then it must be Greg. And I guess you go by Greg instead of Gregory?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I know you were running for something on the ballot. What was it? What did you?
This past time, I, Republican State Executive.
Oh, okay. I knew it was something, I just couldn't remember. State Executive, Republican. Okay.
In 2012, I ran for circuit judge in Blount County.
Oh, did you?
Unsuccessfully.
Oh. Well, I hate that because we would have voted for you, so.
Well, thank you.
I've heard you're a good fellow.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so you're gonna set up the meeting with the probate judge, the commissioner, and,
County attorney.
county attorney.
And I will notify all the council members when it's set. Did I give you my cell number?
I have you.
529.
Hey Brenda,
Ma'am,
be sure and
2315.
call me, because sometimes my computer don't.
sometime we'll call you. If he emails me, and if he tells me, I will call you, cause sometimes your email and stuff doesn't work right.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the computer, if it's the
The
Well, that's,
operator.
the operator.
That's got
See,
the
sometimes I tell the mayor,
number
I think
here.
there's a shortage in here between the operator and the computer.
No. That doesn't have a cell phone, but yes, you got, also got the town hall number.
I'll arrange it through the county attorney and
Okay.
then try to set it up that way. I think it'll be the proper channel to go through and then kind of brief him on the issue that we're wanting to raise, and we'll probably would not want to have more than just Commissioner Strickland and probate judge and the county attorney. That way they wouldn't violate any open meeting laws or anything like that. And I would advise on the town side of it, if you're gonna have one or two council people or have all council members go, that way you won't be in a meeting set up as well. So,
Right. Yeah, there's particular guidelines that we have to follow about getting together outside the meeting room.
So you think it would be better if we didn't all go? Is that-
Just you go, just
I
about.
would have one or two or everybody. I mean, you know, if you have everybody, then you don't violate the open meeting. Well, let me retract that. I mean, if you have everybody there, it could be a published, you know, it could be a non-published meeting. I think that's,
Okay.
I think it would form a committee, appoint a committee, 1, 2, however many, but I wouldn't advise everybody go unless you're gonna have a meeting here and invite all of them down. And then I probably wouldn't do that, to begin with. But when you have everybody assembled, you have to get into publication issues, and could be conceived as a special call meeting, and you
Open up the whole can of worms.
Yeah.
it's just,
Well,
it's a different set of
I will
problems.
let you know when the meeting is, and then we can discuss who should
And you can
attend.
appoint someone to be
I'll let you go.
the committee. I'm not a counselor, you
Okay.
know, no.
All right, well, we'll address that when we get the meeting set up.
Can I ask another question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, according to this, with what you just told us about the incorporation,
Yes, ma'am.
so we are incorporated.
You're incorporated as of the time that order by the probate judge was entered. I don't know if they called it being the same thing they call it now, that was
Okay.
before the 75 code,
Okay,
but 75
Yes.
code says the probate judge's order of incorporation incorporates the town, so
So
you
it's
are legal.
okay.
You're a legal
Thank
entity, and you
We're not illegitimate.
have all the rights and responsibilities of the town duly incorporated
okay,
under the code.
that's
right
all I
now.
wanna know, because we've had some discussion of not incorporated and then being incorporated and all that, and the way I understood what you said, we're
Well,
fine.
When that election was held,
Mhm.
and when those petitions were presented, the petition was presented to the probate judge, and an election was called,
Yeah.
and then the results of that election was certified, the probate judge issues an order of incorporation,
And
incorporating
incorporation.
the town.
Okay, thank you.
We're we are legal.
We are legal, we're legal, we're okay to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Greg, I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
and
Thank you.
and I, like I said, I'm happy to attend your council meetings till you tell me to stay away, so that's.
Well,
Nice to
glad
meet
have
you.
you.
We appreciate you coming too.
Yeah, and we may, I kind of highlighted a note from last month's meeting about a nuisance ordinance.
Yeah.
That we need to,
I found one. We have one that's on the books. I found it.
we have one.
I think so. If that's what I'm reading it right, I'll have to let you look at it and
Uh,
see.
We have a particular issue. You go through Trafford, and on the other side of the railroad tracks, past the old post office, county line extends across the road down there where all that junk is. That's actually in county line.
It was annexed into county line.
Was it a
Junk
continuous annexation, or was it a legislative annexation?
No, it was a continuous, it was the two annexation that I sent you. One was done in November of '74, was the Converseville, basically all the property along Converseville was annexed at that time in 1974. And then January of 1975, the next two quarters, or two sections, were annexed in. And that's the section that crosses the road on the other side of the church, on the other side of Dollar General, and then on into the church, it's past Dollar General. And all the old tractors, that's actually county line. Well, I didn't know, I didn't have proof of it until I found those annexation documents. So,
Well, that would be Jefferson County.
yeah, that's Jefferson County there.
And
That was Wayman, Allen and Misty's property, and then the quarter six on the other side of them. So, anyway, we need some kind of ordinance to try to get that cleaned up and prevent some of this garbage accumulation back of us here.
Yeah, there's a double wide out there that looks like it could be dangerous because it's not put together. It's just been brought in there. And a child could get under it if it ever fell on them or anything. They could get in there and get hurt.
Well,
Well,
it's been
after-
like that ever since we moved here.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
We moved
It's like a
here
rat
in
den.
'07.
If we do have an ordinance already on the books,
Dollar General,
I need to read it,
the county line.
find out what it has to say, and then we may have to entertain some changes in it to give us some, to see what we can do about it anyway. All right, let's see, we have no communications, Brenda?
No, sir. And this
Okay.
is a proposed nuisance ordinance, so I don't know that they ever
I don't
acted
think
on
one
it.
has ever been passed.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't see any signatures or any dates or anything, so.
Well, we'll have to do some more research on that one.
Right,
No resolutions, ordinances, or other business.
No, sir.
Any additional public comments?
Just everybody go vote tomorrow.
Yep. Congressman, U.S. Congressman, State Senate, and
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State.
Isn't there a commission, of Alabama Public Service Commission?
Yeah,
Yes.
sample ballots, if anybody would like to have one.
I'd like to know who's running on that, I can't
Yes.
remember.
All right,
Public Service Commission, he's got some sample ballots.
Okay, good,
I've got some.
good.
If we need some more copies, you can have some more.
I've got about 10 copies.
Oh, okay, that's enough.
All right. Any other business? All right, do we have a motion?
I make a motion with adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.